Hello and welcome to my channel. We are harvesting a ton of loofahs. Isn't that right, Roland?
Yeah.
Roland's helping me find all of these loofahs to harvest them because my vines are so big and crazy that I even missed some of these big guys. So I'm going to bring you guys along as we harvest some of these loofahs. And we're going to experiment with 3 different ways that you can peel the loofah so that we can figure out which way is the fastest and the best way to get to the loofahs inside. This year I'm growing quite a few different varieties of loofah because I just love to grow them all. Today we're going to be harvesting from 2 different kinds. I have the regular standard dishcloth loofah, which is this one right here. And I have another one that's a little bit more hard to find. It's more of a rare type of loofah, but this is called a giant light green loofah. This is my favorite if you're growing loofah to harvest out the sponges to use in crafts or dishcloth, stuff like that. And the reason why I say that is because this one is really thick, so there's a lot of dense fibrous loofah in there, perfect for, you know, your loofah needs and your crafts. And these get really big. I have some that are even bigger than this one. Today, like I said, we're going to harvest whatever's ready, and then we're going to experiment with 3 different ways to peel the loofah because getting that skin off to get to the sponges inside can be really difficult and time consuming. So we're going to see which method works the best. For the most part, everyone lets their loofah sponges dry completely on the vine. Like this one right here. So it's completely dried out, you peel the skin off, and you get into the sponge inside. If you want to save seed from your loofah plants so that you can grow it again next year, then it is best to allow the whole thing to get dried out like this. That way you know that the seeds inside are fully mature. However, peeling this can get really difficult because the skin is very dry, it's brittle. As you peel this, it comes off in little pieces instead of one whole thing, so it can get very time consuming to peel this. Another method that I have used, which I'm going to show you guys, is to harvest the loofah as soon as you start seeing parts of it turn brown, like it's starting the process of drying out. As soon as I see a little patch of brown, it's starting to turn, I will harvest it. I don't allow this one to get completely dried out like this one right here, unless I plan to save seeds from it. And I do have seeds on my website for all of these loofah varieties that I'm showing you in this video in case you want to grow the same ones. This is the 3rd variety of loofah that I'm growing. I started growing this one later than the other one, so it's now just starting to produce, but this is an extra long cultivar. And I just want to show you guys how long this is. It starts right here. It got a little bent because it got stuck on the trellis it was growing on, but look how long this is. All right, Roland, so I need your help finding the ones that are all brown right now.
Got it.
Nice. Put it in the basket.
Oh, that's a lot of them we collected.
Yeah, there's a lot more. This one's a good example of what I mean by just starting to turn brown. So this was all green. The very bottom has started forming these brown dried up patches, and it will continue on its way up until the entire thing is dried out. This one right here is one of those giant light green ones that I was talking about, and it has just started to turn brown right here, so we're going to harvest it. For size comparison, this is the light green giant loofah, and this one right here is the regular dishcloth loofah. Which one do you like better, Roland?
I like the big boy.
Okay. So much loofah. Alright, so we have our big basket of loofah here. Now we're going to try peeling them. First up, we're going to try peeling them when they're all nice and dried like this. If you're lucky, some of these will come off in large chunks or pieces, but for the most part, mine is literally crumbling up. We like to make some exfoliating soap bars by putting a piece of the loofah sponge in the middle or inside of the soap mold. And then we pour our liquid soap around it to set. It's a fun project to do, right? You like doing that with me.
Yeah.
And I have a YouTube video that shows you how we made those soap bars, so I will link it below in the description. If you want to get the seeds out of it, you just shake it and those seeds come dropping right out. Alright, so they actually weren't that difficult to peel, but sometimes the skin gets really stuck on there, and that's why you would want to maybe soak it in some hot water, which is our second method that we're going to show you here. I boiled some water with a tea kettle and I poured it all in here, so now we're going to dip a couple in here, let them soak for a few minutes. While those are soaking, we're going to move on to the 3rd method of peeling loofah, and that's when you harvest them just as they start the process of turning brown to see if it's easy. Alright, so as we're peeling into this one, it's kind of liquidy inside, but it's not because it went bad or something like that. It just still has a lot of water content inside, but definitely very easy to just pop this whole piece out. Since it does feel a little bit slimy and wet, I'm gonna soak this in some bleach water just to kind of get that gunk off from it, then let it dry, and it's perfectly ready to be used as a sponge. Same thing with this one, except it's not as like liquidy and gooey like this one right here, but I'm gonna soak this in some bleach water just to get this liquid stuff off from it and then let it dry. Let's check up on the one soaking in hot water. Be careful when you're soaking these in hot water so you don't get burned. Wow, that came off so easy. That really works. So easy. I think this is the winner. What do you think, Roland? Which method was the easiest? The hot water?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, he says. I'm going to start dunking all of these in there to soak in hot water. Like, we soaked them, I think it was 5 minutes maybe, and it just came off super easy. I have to agree with Roland. I think my favorite way is to get them all the way dry and dip them in that hot water. We're going to fill up this 5-gallon bucket with as many loofahs as I can, and then I'll peel one of these large, like green ones, so you can see what that looks like. Same thing, it just peels off so easy this way. This is the regular dishcloth loofah, and they do get a little bit bigger than this one. But compare that to this giant light green one that I grow. This one is much thicker, so I just like it better for crafts. If you have any fun ways to use up a lot of loofah sponges, please let me know in the comments, because we obviously have a lot of loofah sponges and we're always looking for fun and different ways to use them up. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn more about gardening, growing food, raising backyard chickens, and keeping bees, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I post about these topics on a daily basis. Thank you for watching and happy gardening.